Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Well, hey guys, it's time for another range test, and this time it's between the Leapercam Oryx and the Begode Panther, and I own both those wheels, and I'm on the Oryx right now. I'm going to do this test like the previous range test I did between the Master Pro, the L, and the Oryx. Today it's only two wheels. I'm doing this range test in the mountains. This is going to be a longer ride because I want to get the batteries down closer to empty. So this will be, I anticipate, should be a 103-mile ride. I've done this many times, and variations of it, you know, dozens of times up in these mountains. You know, if I have a choice between doing a range test in suburbia or here, what would you do, right? So like that previous test, I'm going to stop 4 times, and I'll give you the battery percentage, voltage, and distance. The first stop will be about 30 miles. I think the second stop will be about 50 miles. I'm not sure. And then I'll do a stop probably 60 to 70 miles. I'm not sure again. And then the final stop will be at the car at the end of the ride. And so the first stop's about 10 miles from where I'm in right now, and I'll give you the data, and then a few seconds later, right after that, you'll see me at the same spot, but riding the Panther. It'll be interesting to see how the wheels perform. I'm gonna anticipate that I'll be at about 30% on the Oryx. Not sure though. Wheel is fully charged, of course, and this Oryx does always charge up to 176.4 volts. I'm not sure about the Panther, but I bet it's not going to fully charge. None of their wheels have fully charged lately, but it is what it is. I'm running about 30 psi in this knobby tire. For speeds, now at the beginning of this ride, I'm climbing about 6,000 feet, and basically I maintain my speed of about 25. I've been going 25 to 26 on the uphills. I probably should slow down just a little bit. It's easier to go fast in this wheel, but anyway, mid-20s is when I'm going uphill. And then when I get up to the top, when I'm going on the flats or downhill sections, I'll be going in the low 30s, 30, 31, 32, something like that. And that's how I ride with both wheels. And the Panther, again, I have no idea how that's going to perform. I would expect it's going to get less range than this. Hopefully, well, if I end this 103-mile ride with 10% battery on the Oryx, well, obviously, I'm not going to make it on the Panther, so I'll have to adjust my plans. All right, guys, well, I'll see you at the first stop at the 30-mile mark. I'm at the 30-mile mark at Jarvie Memorial Picnic Center. Wheels just doing fine, and I'm at 72%, 161.5 votes. Just about what I would expect. Just gonna take just a little short break, get my feetsies a rest, and then I'll continue on to Newcomb's Ranch, where there I'll stop for a little bit longer. Gonna have my late lunch, early dinner, and then continue on to the second spot. And again, I don't recall exactly where I'm gonna stop for that one, but wherever it is, that'll be the same spot I stop on the Panther. All right, guys, in a few seconds, be interesting to see what the Panther version of me has to say. Well, future me here. It's about, I think it's 3 days since the Oryx version of me was at this spot. And I'm riding the Master Pro. I know I was supposed to be riding the Panther. You're gonna have to wait for stop 3 to find out why that is the case. But just give you some stats. I was at 69% when I stopped. It just popped up right now to 70%, 122.8 votes. And let me see, remind myself, where was I at? All right, so same place, I was at 71% battery on the Oryx. Moving speed was 22.65 miles per hour average, and here I'm at 21.27, so a full 1 mile per hour slower. Interesting. I need to bump up my speed just a little bit to keep the average. I'm sure I'm not going to be exactly the same as I was with the Oryx, but and it has been windy, but not too windy, but maybe that's slowed me down just a little bit. Otherwise, another beautiful day in sunny Southern California. All right, onward to the second stop, which will be, now that I've done this ride before, I know where I'm stopping, which will be at 65 miles. See you in a bit. We are at the overlook of the Big Tujunga Canyon Dam. About 66 miles into the ride. And let's see, 56% battery, 152.9 votes. Top speed about 34 miles per hour. That's wheel speed. Fun day of riding so far. How long have I been riding actually? I guess, well, I've been on the road for 4.5 hours. I did have about a half-hour break. Feels like I haven't been on that long. I don't know. Time goes by when you're having fun. All right. Let's see what the Panther version of me has to say. Hey guys, I'm at the second stop, 65 miles into the ride. And 56% battery, 117.6 votes. It's funny, I'm like right in line with with the Oryx. I was 56% on the Oryx, same spot. Now the difference is I was averaging 23.76 miles per hour on the Oryx. And on the Master Pro, 22.67. So consistently about a mile, 1 mile per hour slower I've been riding on the Master Pro. So I guess you could say even though my battery percentage is about the same, the Oryx is doing better actually, considering it has a slightly smaller battery, and I was riding it faster. So it will be interesting to see how I do at the next stop, which let me look at my notes. Since the Oryx version of me didn't know exactly where I was going to be stopping, but I do. And then I'll explain the mystery of why I'm riding the Master Pro instead of the Panther. So I'm at 65 miles, and next stop is 83 miles. So I'll see you then. Okay, I'm at 85 miles and a turn of events. As I'm sitting here, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing for the other part of the video, the other wheel that you're going to be seeing in this video. But I'm at 41% on the Oryx, 145.5 votes. Just popped up at 42%, but yeah. And I have 20 miles to go. There's no way I'm going to be arriving at 30%. I could be arriving, I don't know. I mean, I'll make it for sure, but there's no way the Panther can make it, or at least at this, who knows, right? But obviously can't risk it based on the smaller battery, unless the Oryx is for some reason really inefficient at the lower half of at the bottom half of the battery. I don't know. I'm just surprised it's not higher, because with the Master Pro, I'm almost positive I would be at higher battery, noticeably higher battery at this point. So what I think you're going to be seeing in this video, I was originally going to call it the Oryx versus the Panther, but looks like it might be the Oryx versus the Master Pro, because what I'm thinking of doing is a couple days doing this same route with the Master Pro, same relative speeds, and see how it compares at the end, because they're only 100 watt-hour difference between the two wheels supposedly, right? So I don't know. I guess I look forward to seeing me with the mystery wheel, the next mystery wheel in a few seconds, and we'll go from there. I'm at the third stop, and now you know I'm here with my Master Pro, since you just heard my spiel from 3 days ago, a couple seconds back. So 83 miles, I am at 47% battery versus 41% on the Oryx. I'm still riding a little bit slower, 22.6 miles per hour on average versus 23.47. So a little bit faster. And see, now at 47%, I would definitely, the last 20 miles here, I would be riding in the 30s, because I'd have no issues getting back. But in the Oryx, I was at 41%. So that's why I slowed down. Now, just so I have apples to apples comparison, I'm going to ride the Master Pro back relatively same pace as the Oryx, so I'm going to keep it in the low 20s, thereabouts. and we'll see what the battery is when I get back in 20 miles, and give you conclusions and what I'm going to do next. I have another interesting test coming up with the Oryx. Okay, the ride has concluded. Interesting results to me anyway. From that last stop, didn't feel like it was too much longer when the bar got down to 1 bar. Basically for, it was like 20 miles from there to here, and at least probably the last, probably 15 miles I was really limiting myself to 20, 21, and last few miles 18 to 20, because it kept showing 1 bar, and I knew when I went to 0, I had low battery mode on, I'd still get some distance, but I didn't know how much. Anyway, I did get here with about 20% battery, technically 19, but as soon as I stopped, it bumped up a little bit. And 103 miles. Yeah, I'm almost positive I get substantially better mileage on the Master Pro, but I don't know for sure because the rides are different. Maybe I'm riding a little bit faster. So next few days, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride the Master Pro. So that's probably the next wheel. It's probably a wheel you've been seeing in this video, I'm guessing. Don't know past self here what I'm going to be doing, and I'll be riding at the same general pace as this wheel. I don't know, maybe I'll get close to the same thing. We'll find out. But I'm guessing I'm going to I'll do better in the Master Pro. I did look up, I remembered I did this identical ride with the Sherman L, and that was last year, July 31st, just a little over a year ago. And I remember I got back with 10% battery, and I was riding quite a bit slower again the last 20 miles. So looking at the results of that ride, my average moving speed was 18.93, and on this it was 21.7 miles per hour average moving speed. So I definitely rode this guy faster than the Sherman L. So you definitely get more range on this wheel than the Sherman L. I'm just not convinced right now that this is anywhere near as good as the Master Pro for the long range wheel rides. Now, one other question I know people are going to bring up is the knobby. I don't think there's a huge difference based on some older tests I did between same wheel with a knobby and a street, but I'm going to be changing this to a street tire probably in the next couple weeks, and I will do the identical ride again, and that will be interesting. See if there's any noticeable range. Who knows? See, I have a street tire in the Master Pro. maybe that'll do fantastic. I don't know. Anyway, past self here, and I guess I'll pass along to the future self and let him make some more additional conclusions. Well, it's a wrap. Just got back about 103 miles, and I did end up riding. I mean, it's hard to ride slow if you don't need to, so I did ride at a faster pace the last 20 miles, and that it brought my average moving speed very close to the Oryx. I'm impressed how good I can get these averages between different rides to provide better results for comparison for a range test. So, let's see. Yeah, my battery, 35%, and I had 20% on the Oryx. 35-20%. And also keep in mind, you know, 35% of a 4,800 watt-hour wheel is more battery than 35% on a, you know, 4,700 watt-hour wheel. So it just makes some numbers actually look even a little bit better. My max speed on this ride was 33 miles per hour GPS, and it was 32 miles per hour GPS on the Oryx. And my average moving speed was 21.57 miles per hour, let's say 21.6, and it was 21.7 on the Oryx. Essentially the same, right? So at least with the configuration of the Oryx that I have, it's, I guess the Master Pro still holds the title for the longest range stock wheel that you can currently buy. Now, one other test I want to do is I just got a tire. Afeez from E-Rides shipped me a street tire for the Oryx. I'm going to put that on in a week or so, and I'm going to do this identical test with the Oryx again, but with the street tire. That'll be interesting, right? To see if what difference a knobby really makes versus the street tire in the same wheel. But at least with the knobby version of the Oryx, it doesn't do as good as the good old Master Pro. Then again, you know, in the grand scheme of things, both wheels are still long-range wheels. I mean, right, 103 miles riding in the mountains. I climbed, what was my total vertical distance that I climbed throughout the whole ride, added up to 9,000 feet, just about. So think about that. I climbed almost 9,000 feet, rode 103 miles, and I have 35% battery left, and then the Oryx I had 20% battery. So it's still impressive numbers. So this has been very interesting. And I feel I need to say this because so many people just don't understand the concept of moving average speeds. So they think, oh God, I couldn't have done that ride at 21 miles per hour. That's so slow. Average moving speed includes all the slowdowns, the stops. It's an average over 103 miles. The average speed while I was moving. If you were to see me when I was actually could move as fast as I wanted, I was going between 25 and 30 miles per hour. Again, my highest speed was 33 miles per hour. GPS numbers, right? So it was a very pleasant ride, very speeds. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this test. I think I'm going to try it with the Panther, but I first need to run the Panther down to 0 to get a sense for the battery range, because if I do this ride with the Panther, I'm going to be coming in at 10% or less. I don't know. Because the thing is, one last thing, is this wheel, the Master Pro, it's the only wheel in the Begode lineup that goes down to 3 volts per cell at the low end before it tilts back. The Panther, it's 3.1 volts. The Oryx is 2.94 volts, pretty close to 3 volts. Well, the Oryx, if I didn't enable low battery mode, so in that case, it's 3.1 volts, the same as the Panther. So the Oryx, I ended that ride equivalent at 9% if I didn't have the low battery mode on. 9%. And it has 300 more watt hours of battery than the Panther. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do the test with the Panther. I'd really have to slow down the pace. Unless on my shorter range test, for some reason it's phenomenal, but I don't think it will. I don't think it'll be that much difference. All right, guys. Well, sorry about the long-winded end to this video, but if you stuck around, thanks. And I hope you got something out of this video, enjoyed it. And until next time, safe riding on your Oryx, Master Pro, Panther, or whatever other wheel you have. Good night, guys.